On this episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast, I interview my homie Marcus Owens, who is a former Division I basketball player who aspires to inspire in a form of apprenticeship and mentorship. He understands that writing and speaking is the gateway for making the dream tangible. As his passion for basketball falters, him seeking his purpose is strengthened. The Minds with Hakeem podcast will be right back with you guys after we finish thanking our sponsors. All right, so check this out. I know when buying a home for the first time can be a very stressful process. But that's why it's good to give it a good lender like my buddy Jared Nicholson from Key Mortgage Group. He's so active to educate his borrowers and also let people be aware of their blind spots. This is a good man to make your lifetime lender, to make your process super stress-free, and don't be turned off by the housing process. You can follow him and find him at jnhomeloan.com. So let me spell that out for you. jnhomeloan.com. So tap in with him. Jared NMLS number is 1969744. I repeat that. 1969744. All right, podcast listeners, check this out. My guy Phoenix got a podcast that's really good, and you guys should tap in. It's called Rise Again Podcast. It's a podcast where he tells stories of others to help inspire, motivate, and for everyone to just be their best and get in your own skin and be comfy, man. This guy does an awesome job with that platform that he has, getting some of the best minds around the world to come on there and tell their stories. And he also does a great job at facilitating them and telling their stories. This podcast is available every Sunday on all major streaming platforms. Also, don't forget to check in with my boy on social media at Rise Again Create. That's Rise Again Create. Tap in with my boy. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. I have a special guest here today, my brother Marcus Owens, man. Say what's up to the people, bro.
What's good, everybody?
So go ahead, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the very first FaceTime interview we done on the Mind. So, brother, you special in that way, and we want to get this done productive. I had to get you on set, man. I'm a big fan of your content you post. It's rooted in education and knowledge, and that's huge, especially coming from a black brother. Had to get you on here, man. So I appreciate you for coming on.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother. So before we get going, man, I just want to check in. We're in the midst of a pandemic. So quick pandemic check-in. How you feeling, man? How's the family? How everybody doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Everybody seemed well for the most part.
For sure. That's a blessing, man, especially in these times like this. Cool. So we're gonna kick it off with the icebreaker question I ask all my guests this season. So what is the best advice someone has ever given you, bro? Open it up for us.
That's a good question. Actually, man, when I was in school at Lamar in Beaumont,
I
actually stopped at a gas station, one time, and a guy he caught whiff from my shirt, so he knew that I was on a team. So he started a conversation with me and was like, "Man, listen, the world that we live in is so dynamic, it's changing, right? So it's important that you become more versatile." And, when he said that, it kind of stung me because I always felt that I was kind of behind the curve because I was invested in basketball. Basketball was all I knew. Mm-hmm. And a lot of, it stunted my growth in every other aspect, in every other realm. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. So when I pondered on that, a lot, my mind, and, I just started to focus on skill acquisition, man, just, working on my communication skills, just creating content, just being more extroverted in a sense.
Yeah.
And it all paid its dividends for me, So
absolutely. Man, that's some dope advice, man. That's something that somebody definitely can learn from. And you actually took that advice and embodied it from what I was seeing today. So that's good to see it come full circle for you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I already told you yesterday, man. Keep doing your absolute best, bro. We love it. Before we kick it off, man, before we get into you completely, man, just briefly introduce yourself to the people so they know what's up. They know who we got on set.
And like I say, man, I'm Marcus Owens, like you introduced me as.
Absolutely.
Two-time author. One basketball player. I'm from a treacherous environment. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? And, it was basketball that propelled me out of the outskirts of my community. Because of that, I didn't become a product of my environment or an aggregate of my surroundings. Yes. So thankful for basketball because it really saved my life ultimately. I'm just maintaining, man, just trying to glean and grow from here on out.
And that's all we can do, especially as brothers, man. But that's why I kind of like look outside looking in. That's why I kind of figured, man, you were similar as in the aspect, man, because basketball actually saved my life too. Like you said, you went to school in Beaumont, Texas, and we're gonna get into Beaumont in a little bit. But I know you East Coast blood, so we're gonna let that rock out too, respectfully so. But Beaumont's a treacherous environment, man. You lived in that area, man, and coming from that neighborhood where I came from, and it was very troubling, man. Family members on drugs, family members dealing drugs invested in the neighborhood, prostitution, all that stuff like that, man. To make it out to where we are today, man, that's truly a blessing, and that need to be celebrated. Actually, you know what? We're going to give that a round of applause. Markeem, I'm going to hit the right button. Yes, sir. Absolutely. But let's talk about Beaumont real quick, bro. Can you speak on your time in the city? My city, man. This is the first person I got that actually spent time in Beaumont. I need to do better at getting back down there. But can you talk about the city, man, your time and what that was like for you?
Man, it was crazy. Like it was definitely a culture shock. But I got down to Lamar. I'm like, you explained Beaumont, previously. I'm like, man, they really got a college in this community. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was tough. Down the street, you got people dealing drugs, and it's
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of confused at that, but Beaumont was cool, man. People responded well to me because I was on the team, obviously. I was under a microscope. Everything we did got magnified, but people showed us love ultimately. They responded to us.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm glad to see that people was able to come around that because in Beaumont, sports actually protect people, just like everywhere in the world, man. So you've been in that environment, you being around good people, your teammates and stuff like that, and coaches, you're gonna automatically be around good people. But you knew, just not even being from there, that it was them people with trouble around that neighborhood. Right. That neighborhood is very, very, very troubling. That Lamar's in the South End, man. I got some of my best friends from the South End, and them boys used to be treacherous, man. We clean that up though now for real.
Yeah, sure.
So let's talk about your podcast. That I was kind of picking up on. It's called Convex Vision podcast, correct?
Yeah.
Can you let us in on what that's about, bro? Like, let us in what you unpack on there. I see you do like book clubs and stuff like that, but it's so much more.
Right. Actually, Convex Visions has been compartmentalized in a lot of different parts. I got a book on. I got a blog. I'm trying to create books, right? Publishing within that, but from the podcast, right? I talk about career development, personal development, mindset development, and I got a couple athletes rolling through there. Ultimately we just increasing, the viewers' mental acuity, ultimately. That's kind of like what I aim for, you know what I'm saying? And I keep it thorough, I keep it authentic.
Yeah.
It's something that people can resonate with.
And that's the thing I want to piggyback off what you said. Can you kind of talk about keeping your podcast authentic the way you do? Because people can see people out the fakeness in you. Like, if you fake, we don't know. So talk about the importance of the authenticity of your podcast and just anything you do, honestly, not just your podcast.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's important that, you establish some principles and allow them to lead the way. You know what I'm saying? Compromise who you are and what you stand for, because people can pick up on that. It's energy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like with your podcast. You know what I'm saying? I see you goofing around. You have
a good time.
I'm saying I know it's you.
Yeah.
You also compound that with knowledge and gems. It's thorough. It's authentic. It feels real.
Appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man. It's easy. That. And I told you off rip, my boy, our mutual friend James. He
shout out, little James.
and I resonated with it. we from the same realm,
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely. Cut from that same cloth.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick up on that when energies like that collide. Beautiful things happen, such as this. You know what I'm saying? So
had to get you on the pod for that exact reason you explained it. Literally, had to. So this is what I really want to get into because I got to grab both of them actually. But you're authored two books. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of explain them one by one, man? I want to know what's about. And let everybody in on that, man, because that's dope.
I got you. Leverage is my self-help poetry book. I broke that down in a lot of different sessions. And I wrote Leverage when I was at one of my lowest points. I just had college, and basketball didn't pan out the way I thought it should. Leverage was one of my coping mechanisms. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was on. I was just writing and typing. I transcribed all my feelings, all my thoughts, and I put it in a book. And I feel like that leverage is universal. You know what I'm saying? For all ethnic backgrounds, genders, all that.
Anybody can pick it up.
Anybody can find something in there that caters to them. You know what I'm saying? So for that, and I ain't really put no money into it. My brother did the cover art.
Yeah.
I had a friend girl edit it for me, and I put everything on KDP. And the funds that I made from that, I used to fund my next book, which is The Game That Mirrors Life.
Yes, sir.
Artwood, and that book. I'm more passionate about, because it's something that I actually lived, and I say that. Some people know of the game of basketball and some people live the game of basketball. Right.
Big difference.
Right. And so I lived it. So I understand the principles, the skills, and the lessons that you learn through the game and how things can transfer over to real life outside of sports.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? That was my aim for that. I want to use my personal experiences and, just pass them on to other people so they can use them to navigate around the impediments that's inevitable for them to face in the basketball realm. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so that was kind of like my aim with both projects, man, for sure.
Now, question off the second one. What was the name of it again? Mirrors of...
Yeah, The Game That Mirrors Life.
The Game That Mirrors Life. And I think, like, talking to you just on a personal note, you was like, one of the biggest things I want people to understand is that sports, not just basketball, but sports can teach us life lessons. And,
yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
That's one of the things you are most passionate about. So kind of unpack that, because I think the book you wrote actually covers that from what I'm picking up. But like talk about that a little bit in depth to where sports, like anybody who ever been a part of a collective team or this business sports, how they can help them and shape them in life.
Definitely. And, I talk about team orientation and, I see how good of a team you got, just from part of this.
Shout out my team, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out your team, man, for sure. But, within a team setting, man, there's individual goals and then there's collective goals.
Yeah.
Right. As a team, obviously you have established collective goals, but, you don't want to have individuals that's set on, attaining their own individual goals and placing that above
the team goal. Wow.
Right. And what you can do, to combat that is along the way of the collective goals, you can, accomplish your individual goals, if that makes sense. So if I know, okay, if our collective goal is to win a national championship, let's say for any college basketball team, your individual goals may be to average a double-double or whatnot. In the midst of you playing for that collective goal, you playing hard as you could, you exerting, every iota of energy that you got into every possession of the game. By doing that, you can accomplish your individual goals, and ultimately you'll accomplish your collective goals. You know what I'm saying? So that's
wait. Let me stop you. You got to run that back. They might have missed that. Like I need you to run that back from the double play, reset, rewind. Yeah, go ahead. I need that double jump.
All right, so I say, your individual goal may be to accomplish a double-double, but the collective goal may be to win a national championship. Instead of, you trying to, okay, we plan to, win a national championship, you can exert every iota of strength or energy you have into every possession to accomplish both, right? So
Yes.
I kind of look at it, and it's all about, like I said, team orientation. And I talk about a lot of other different things, man, like upside, your ability to gel with other great people, you know what I'm saying? And that's what scouts look at, right? So if I'm a basketball player on the collegiate level, and I'm grading this player, and I want to see if he can make it to the next level. First, look at his ability to gel with other great players. Can he make players around him better, right? Can he make players that are better than him better, right? So that's what they're looking at. So, I talk about upside, and then you can transfer that to, in the corporate world, right? Gelling with other smart individuals or intelligent
and making that business better.
Right, making it better and not feeling threatened. You know what I'm saying? Coming, with your individual goals and, bringing it together with the collective goals. And, all of it tied, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of look at it. And, I talk about a lot of different things, a lot of different basketball terms.
Real life terms, most importantly. You talk about a lot of real life terms. But I want to do something. I want to kind of pause us, jump away from the questions real quick, and I want to throw some quick hitters, one words at you, and I want you to think about it. Say the first thing you think of when I say these three quick hitters. You ready? I know you're gonna crush it. Process.
Process, man. At the end of the day, you gotta embrace the process in totality. You know what I'm saying? Embrace, the ups and downs. You gotta be even keel, right? When things are good, you know what I'm saying? You have to prepare for things going on the downslope. And in nature, to believe that when things are going good, that they're going to continue to go good.
I'm glad you said on the down too.
Right. And but it's also human nature to believe that when things are going bad, that they will continue to go bad. So you just got to kill and work throughout all that. And, it's inevitable, man, that you're going to get back on the straight and narrow path, and, success will find you.
Absolutely. Failure.
It's all about failing forward, man. And, embrace failure. And ultimately, you don't fail until you quit.
Yeah.
If I'm not waving that white flag, then, I can keep it going. But, at the end of the day, it's unequivocal, though. It's bound to happen. I can't sit here and say, oh, I ain't never failed, or I won't never fail, or something. If somebody tell you that, they're lying.
Show me one great businessman that haven't failed. Show me. I'll wait.
Exactly. And you're gonna fail more than you succeed, but all you need to do is succeed one time to really elevate and to propel yourself to your culmination point, right? So it is one instance. You know what I'm saying?
Last word for you, and those two answers was great. I think you're gonna embody this one too. Commitment.
You got to stay committed to the process of winning, right? You got to, apply all your intangibles, right? You have to stick to the script and to the scene switch, man. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
That's what commitment is about. You know what I'm saying? Just, being invested within, the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
It all ties in. All ties in. You one of my first guests who I just ever do quick hitter words and embodied it. So for that, you get hand claps. I love this button. I love it. So I never stop using it. Man, let's jump back on script, man. Appreciate that too. You killed those. So speaking to like importance of applying knowledge, like this is one of my favorite questions I wanted to ask you. Literally. Applying the knowledge that we intake from podcasts, mentors, books, etc., whatever, into our lives. Like, what's that importance? What is the importance of applying these things that we learn on a daily instead of just honing the knowledge and not doing anything?
I mean, it's super important. And, me, I'm a huge advocate for podcasts and reading books and stuff like that. But, unfortunately, most people, they suck in all that knowledge for purposes of regurgitation, application. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
They'd rather learn this information just so they can tell other people about it instead of applying it to their own lives.
Yes.
That's productive. You know what I'm saying?
What you learning this for?
Right, exactly. but once you start to apply, the tools and the experiences that other people have lived through to your own life, man, the yields is so beautiful, man. Like a lot of times you can prevent yourself from dealing with, what other people had to deal with if you apply their systems, right, and use what they've battled with to govern your decisions. And you know what I'm saying.
No, 100%. And I think that's spot on. Like, like put these principles you learning into play in your own life.
Right.
First and foremost, if you want to get unstuck, you want to get forward, because people are giving you free game. Like Mark is giving y'all free game right now. Like, if you don't apply these principles into your life, man, y'all don't listen to my dog. That's on y'all, because I know I'm taking something from it. That's why I got him on here. Appreciate that. For real. All right, so following you and locking onto your content, like it was instantaneous that I locked to what you were speaking on, like the videos you drop. I don't care if they 5 minutes, I don't care if they 1 minute. I'm tapped in, like literally, bro. I'm tapped in. Keep doing that. So do you feel like you are called to inspire others? If so, why?
I definitely think I've been called to inspire others. And a lot of times, I engage in divine dialogue.
For sure.
And that rhetoric has to be passed on to me from the house. So a lot of times when I say stuff, I be like, I can't believe I said that.
I'm flowing straight from the survival source.
For real, man. And so dope, because it's like the Lord, he's using me as a vessel.
No, absolutely. Amen to that.
I'm out here doing this work, you know what I'm saying? And once I embody it and just stick to it, and just the like the dividends that come from that is so wonderful, man. Like I have people responding to me like, man, you helped me find my purpose. I was in a dark space, you know what I'm saying? That up for me, like that is so, like that reinforcement is so beautiful. And it's just like it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So much bigger than me. And once you start to take yourself out of the equation and you set that ego aside, you understand that. Everybody
understand that. No, exactly. I think you hit it dead on the head. We gotta kill the egos and get to the real nitty gritty. And that's like, I think that's what makes us human, like the ability to inspire others. You know what I mean?
Right.
To get somebody to the next step in their life. Guess what? We're growing with you. We're not better than you just because you learned something for us. We on the same playing field. We trying to figure out this game called life. And I think you do a good job in your content and staying on the same level as the people you're talking to. And like you said, those one little messages like, yo, you changed my life, or yo, I was in a dark place. That's all I need. Like, if one person takes something from you from this podcast that we're doing, I did my job, because I got you on here and you helped somebody get unstuck. Like, that's my mission. If I can help one person every podcast, and I'm good. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the numbers.
How can you lose like that? Coming from where you come from.
Come on.
And building a platform like this, how can you lose?
Come on. Like, it's no defeat. Like, I'm running my own race. Like, literally. This is my marathon. If you could help one person get unstuck right now, what would you tell them?
That, especially if they're at rock bottom.
Rock bottom. They stuck. They got no movement.
The only place you can go is up.
As simple as that.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to just get through the other side of things to really understand, why you had to go through what you had to go through. And it usually takes you getting through to the other side to understand, dang, like I had to do that because of this, and now I'm so much better because I went through that.
Yes.
But once you start to understand that, you'll look at, life and its problems as a game, right? You look, I got to get through this level to really peak, right? I got to experience this to see what I'm really made of.
Yes. That's it. Like, literally, you only got one place to go. Is up. Man, look, man, I want to keep giving them gems. So, and I know you're the best person for it. So let's keep going. Generational curses.
Generational curses. Like, you have to deter from those conventional methods, man. You just got to logic. Everything that if something don't make sense, it don't make sense. So you don't have to adhere to it. Start your own, right? And you have to unlearn and relearn, right? And a lot of us are chained to traditionalism. We're just it confines us and it keeps us just stuck. And a lot of people feel stuck because we're not breaking away from them. So that's what I kind of look at for generational curses, and the people that choose to break away or break out of them, I call it catalysts. You got to be that catalyst for growth, right? Knowledge, or whether that's just currency or whatever it may be.
You got to take that unpopular road for your generation. So for your generation, and I think all that stems back down to looking inward. And I say this a lot. We need more black men, especially, to look inward. Like, yo, you got to look at that situation and say, no, that's not real. That's not raw. I want something new.
Right.
But we don't like to point the finger at ourselves. We just like to play the blame game. So I think a lot of generational curses get caught up in the blame game. They did that. The system did that. Man, buck the system. You know how many brothers that did it?
Exactly.
So stand up for something. I mean, we can't just keep pointing the finger, man. So I'm glad you kind of focus on that, because I think it dials down to looking inward. One more. Let's go one more. I want this to be good. Self-love. Yes.
Self-love. Self-love comes with being self-aware, right? Having that, once you know who you are, then it's easy to be you. Always think about integrity, right? Integrity, being one way on the outside and just being the same way on the outside that you are on the inside.
Yeah.
And when you're like that, it's hard to compromise your core values, the principles that you stand on. Just your likings, right? It's hard to compromise that, and hard to deter.
You don't self-love yourself.
Right.
No, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Ben, he flowing, bro. Give me a word. Give me a word, man. He know it. He got something for it. Success. Easy.
Success, man. We talked about failure, right? So, in failing, if we fail enough times, we're getting closer to success, right? So, and once we get to a successful place, we can't get content. And, I say that because a lot of times we can propel ourselves out of a funk, and we'll get to a successful stage, and then we'll get complacent, and then we revisit rock bottom from that stage.
Hey, hold up. There we go. Hand claps. No, for real. Carter, what you have struggled with or struggling with currently? None of my business. Give me a word. Huh?
Balance.
Oh, God. Balance. Run it.
Balance. Hey, and
Run it.
Back to one of my basketball terms, and in life, you gotta have that balance so you can pivot and change your directives. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times that's necessary.
Sheesh.
Just switch from an unsuitable avenue and really go after what you really desire or what's for you. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure, absolutely. I'm having fun. Rand, talk to me. Give me a word. He going, huh?
Joy.
Enjoy?
Joy.
Oh, joy. Let's get it.
I think that like supreme joy, adhering to your principles, right? And I say, because a lot of times people conform to external the white noise and stuff like that, but for me, I feel like success, like extreme happiness and joy, all that goes hand in hand. When I realized that once I reached my point or I got to my peak, I didn't compromise myself, and
you stayed authentic. You stayed true to the end. Sheesh. Nah, that's it. Last but not least, the cameraman. What you got for us, big boss man Marquis? Talk to me. Peace. That's the perfect wrap up.
I'm gonna say this: war precedes peace. A lot of times, we even in a battle, right? When we fight wars and stuff like that, what comes after wars is peace treaty.
Yes,
right?
Yes, peace absolutely. Treaty. Every time, got to sign it.
And with us, when we're fighting internal battles, we have to fight ourselves. We have to have a war within ourselves to gain ultimate peace within us.
At the end of the day, You got to go to war. They complement each other. It's no one without the other. No, absolutely, man. Dog, I can't appreciate you enough for coming on and giving that. This is the first time I ever just called out random words and somebody just flew. I felt super, super confident in you to do that, man. You killed it, man. I appreciate everything. Like, for real, dog. You keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna support you over here at this stand. We're gonna be a Marcus Owens stand, regardless, right or wrong. So absolute pleasure to have you on, brother.
Hey, appreciate you for having me, man. Like I say, man, this was great. This was dope.
No, we gotta do this more. We gotta hop on yours. I want to get on yours, man, and we can make it happen. Literally. No, for sure. But that wraps up another episode of the Monster Hakeem podcast. Make sure y'all tap into all these gems my brother dropped today. Let me cut my camera back on. Marquis was hating. He didn't want me in the camera on the thing, but appreciate you, big dog. Blessing to have you on, man. Keep doing your best. Just like a message won't change with you, man. I love your content. Keep doing you, brother.
For sure.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you.
For sure. Peace.